I'm live. Whoa! From Saturday Night Live. No, it's not. It's Sunday. But we're having fun here. You gotta turn your volume down there, little buddy. Jeepers. Uh oh, you're first, Nick. Man, you were waiting,
He's
weren't you?
on it, man.
You're on it like Donkey Kong. What's going on, buddy? Do you need more subs since I've put you on my page? Got four, got five. Man, I'm becoming a popular person here. We're gonna make some pizzas. See, right here, I got some ninjas. Got some of the stuff there. Get some more of the stuff right there on my bed here, and we're gonna do some question and answer kind of thing with a Wolfman, Mark. So he's having fun. He's got
Delayed
what,
reaction on the phone.
17 minutes. Yeah, you got everything's got to be delayed anyway, there, buddy. You know. So anybody got any questions yet? Let's jump right
When are you
in.
gonna make them pizzas?
When are we gonna make them
No, I
pizzas?
said how.
How are we gonna make these pizzas? All right, well, Mrs. Starter, we got these things here, and then I got this little special machine right there. See that special machine right there? That's the thing that does everything. Sweatshirt, damn, y'all in Alaska? Sure are.
Yeah.
Well, it's like Alaska in the truck, man. I keep it at 60 degrees because that's just how I am. No, it's 74 degrees in the truck. So. Yeah, they've been talking about putting a school in Weedsport over the summer. It's been in the talks for the last 2 or 3 years. That's what they've been talking about, doing something over the summer just to get more students in. Here, Mark, I'm gonna let you hold the phone. He's gonna be my cameraman. He can answer some questions. Um, Go ahead and ask some questions to. So I'm gonna take and spritz this with a little spritzer like this here. Just keep it. Yep. But any more questions going? It's vibrating. The camera is.
Is it?
Yep. There it is. No, it's only Monday through Friday, and then you're off on the weekends. Sometimes you're doing half days on Friday. Depends on what school you go to on the school part. But you can go home if you're close to the school if you want. So if not, you can stay in the hotel room. And most of the time you share a room with a guy that's in class with you. So just give you a heads up on that. You'll be bunking with somebody. Get all holidays off.
You do if you're in class.
You do if you're in class, but not when you're in the truck. Unless you got home time. Yeah. Yeah. So, who's that?
Hey there, bro. What's up, David?
Good job. Congratulations there, Mr. Strong. But I'm gonna make me some mashing these down, make me some pizza things here. These are just biscuit pizzas. What does that mean? WHRS.
Who's that from?
Huh?
Who was that?
Look like your sister.
I don't know.
Somebody. What is that? Not much, man. We're just getting things together, making some pizza, showing you guys how I do this stuff. I have people ask. You? Your wife says hi. They're
Hi, wife.
He said hi, wife. Enjoy what? Oh. Yeah. I'm choking up here. Who says that? Thank you, David Bolts. Foltz, sorry, David Foltz. My wife's talking to me on my headset, so she's answering the questions for me, reading them off. She's in Indianapolis. We're Where the hell we at? We up in here, up by Sheboygan, Wisconsin tonight. So Pebble's trying to. Huh? We're doing pretty good. We're just out here trying to have a little fun. We've been sitting in this truck stop for 8 hours now. Doesn't make any sense why we've been sitting here so long. Just no loads available. My dispatcher's on vacation, so we got kind of hosed. So we're just sitting here and just chilling out, making some food, talking to you guys, coming up with some questions for you and everything else. And Mark's got some questions that he wants to ask and talk about, talking points of his first week in the truck with me. He's a cameraman right now while I'm making these pizzas, but this is what we're doing for dinner. Just showing you that you can cook in the truck, which makes it nice if you have a trainer that knows how to cook. So, but put some mozzarella cheese. Now here's some pepperonis. Gonna throw these on there. I ain't gonna eat all of them, quiet. You know.
Most drivers average 115K a year.
No, not all drivers. Is that mileage wise or pay wise? Yearly miles. Yearly miles, you got to kind of average it out as being about 200 and, or was it about 2,000? About 2,500 miles a week is about what you're going to average per week. On average, when you go home and everything for your home time. So that's what normal average is. I average about 3,300.
You're at the Lowe's in Sheboygan.
Yes, we are. How do you know? Are you gonna come over here and knock on our door and get us some Ghost Rider? You want some pizza too? We're over here in the Lowe's at Sheboygan. That's where we're at. There's some hamburger I just threw on the, I think it's, yeah, that's hamburger. It could be taco meat. I don't know. It could be, I don't know exactly what it is. I'm just throwing stuff together. Yeah, if it's taco meat, it's taco pizza. Go ahead. Well, come over and talk to us in there, Ghost Rider. If you hurry up, we'll be on this live feed. We'll put you in the interview too, if you want. You know, that's where we're at. We're down here at the Love's in Sheboygan. Putting some bacon chips on it real quick. There's two Miller's trucks here though. Don't know which one we're going to be in. You're going to have to just knock on doors. But what loads do we get out of Columbus, Ohio? We do have a contract with Budweiser out of Columbus, Ohio. We do pull stuff out of Fago out of Columbus, Ohio. What's the other?
Oh, really? Cube steak, mashed potatoes, and gravy, babe? Very nice. We've been eating very well, though. Perry is a very good truck driving cook. He's got the right cooking apparatus, the Ninja.
Yep. Yeah, he knows. He just read it. We got onions and tomatoes extra here, and some jalapenos on a stick. And then I'm gonna put some more cheese on it because we're hungry truckers.
So I can expect two. Dang, I missed that comment.
Well, it's more than that. It's more than 2,300. They try to say that you guys can average about 115,000 a year. 100. That's what they're averaging pay off of. That's why they say you guys can make $60,000 your first year. Because a lot of guys like to go home for 2.5 days every
What's the other
2 weeks.
truck, number 7 by Trainer? Should be up there somewhere near you guys. Perry, thank you so much for taking good care of my brother.
It's 9011.
Oh, 9013.
9013. Yep. How does Millis feel about you making these videos? They really don't. They're not saying anything about me. If I took and was putting the company in a bad lime or in a bad light, then they'll have a problem with it. But I'm actually getting a lot of people getting recruiting in here at the company. So a lot of people calling and telling recruiting that they've seen my videos and everything. So it's actually a promotion for the company. It's not like Steve Neal and that was doing videos too.
17, I think 7745 or.
Yeah, I don't know. That's not what we got. That's the truck number that was here is Ryan is 9013, and then ours. But here's what the pizzas look like so far. Let me turn that light off some. There you go.
I know one. Yep.
Yeah, that's a new truck here, Ryan. Oh boy, pizzas are starting to smell good. Yeah, that's John. John's fun. Everybody knows me, so John knows me very well. You can ask Ryan. Ryan can tell you that John knows me very well. He just came out of the Eden School. Got any questions there, Mark? You guys want to tell him about your first week of driving?
Hey, Bubba. So first week at Millis was your video is what made me decide to come to Glad. You can't.
Yeah.
You gotta read them quick then, eh?
Yeah, you gotta read them real quick.
So first week at school was first couple days were kind of boring, all classroom work. Like the third day we got to go out on the backing range. Fourth day a little more paperwork, and fifth day, Friday, the first week, we actually headed out on the road. We broke up into groups and headed out on the road with our instructor, and the other half of the group stayed there on the range and did backing for a week. Then the following week we switched and we were on the backing range, and then did you talk about the CBs on the last live feed, Ghost Rider? Nah, no, we did not, Ghost Rider. And by the third week, we were ready to get out and get in with our trainers. Skadoosh, what's up there, Diary of a Map Man? Listen to this. All right, I'm listening.
Yeah, we can go ahead and keep on.
And yeah, by the third week, we were all ready to get out on the road with our trainers and get through orientation, and that's where we are today. Today will be our fourth day out, and it's been all right. Boring today, as we parked at this Love's about noon today, and I guess we're here for the duration, and got to wait till in the morning to get dispatched. So I came up with a few questions for Pebbles Bootlegger. From a trainer's point of view, because it's something I might be interested in getting. I miss you too, Bubba. I heard your roommate at MTI was awesome. Who was that? Diary of a Map Man. Was that you? Yeah, he was all right. He's a skadoosh though. All right, so I'm gonna give the camera back to Pebbles Bootlegger, and we'll do some questions for him.
All right, guys. Sorry about my thumb in the window or in the picture, but hold on a second there, Mark. What? Go ahead, Jennifer. Okay. When are you done with school for training and enough trainers for each student? And does it now? Right now, there is enough trainers for trainees. They do take in there may be a wait of 2 or 3 days. but when it starts booming, when more and more people are coming in class, um, around August and September, it seems like that's when guys are sitting for about a week or two to get a trainer. But for the most part, there's enough trainers right now for everybody to have a trainer. There's not a little wait. I'll talk about CB Center a little bit there, Ghost Rider. We got a few questions to ask and answer real quick. Mark's got a few questions for me, so here, I'm gonna let him ask one question and go from there.
All right, so seeing we're cooking again tonight, what's the craziest meal you've ever cooked?
The craziest meal I've ever cooked is probably two of them. I had a student tell me one time when I first got the truck, he wanted prime rib in the truck. We took and got a roast, made prime rib in the truck in this Ninja in a matter of about 45 minutes in a rest area in Alabama. The other thing I done was my son and I was in the truck over wintertime during right before Christmas. We were down in Albany, Georgia, went over to the Walmart over there and found some crayfish, crawfish, whatever you want to call them, in a bag, and made a low country boil in the truck here. And I had a bunch of drivers, hey, I want some, but that's probably about the craziest thing I've ever made in the truck.
All right. How often does your wife get out here with you on the road?
How often the wife get out here with me on the road? With me being a trainer, she tries to come out with me twice a year for about a week or a weekend, or I may pick her up in Indianapolis and take her over to Ohio, and then she can run back to Indianapolis with me when I get rid of a student. But for the most part, it's just minimal. But with me living in downtown Indianapolis, I get home a lot. Is there a lot of downtime on the weekends? No, not really, James. I know I'm gonna get pre-planned very strong for weekend work, like almost 15 to 2,000 miles, and my dispatcher's off for a thing right now, so he's not in. Okay, Dean, when you get your personal items from home, what happens is when you get out of the truck, dispatch, when you get your own truck, dispatch will get you to the house for about 7 days. So when you get out of the trainer truck, they normally know your guys are in it for 6 to 8 weeks. They'll try to get you to the house as fast as they possibly can. Sometimes it's within a day. Sometimes you gotta go deliver a load and then go get another load, and somebody will piggyback to get you to the house, depending on where you live at. But then they'll let you go home for about 7 days to get everything put together before you go out on the road. What's up? Okay, what's the hardest part about driving a truck is all the long hours, and being out here alone is about the hardest part. You know, the mental game really is a very hard part of this. Driving a truck is easy. The hardest part is to deal with the mental games. If there's a family issue at home, then it escalates to something big in your head, and it may just be something little as stubbing your toe, and then from there it just eats at you if you don't know what's going on. Got any more questions, Mark?
What's the best part and the worst part about being a trainer?
Well, the best part of being a trainer is with me, I like to teach people how to do things, and the reward of knowing that I'm teaching somebody to do a job that they are paying to do, and they can also take and know that they're going to advance their life for their family, be able to better their life for their family and everything, because this is a career. It's not a job. So it's actually like school. You have to pay for it and do that stuff. But the worst part of it is probably students that don't want to listen, have no ambition to do the job, and knowing that as soon as they get out of my truck, after they get their CDL, they're wanting to bounce and go off somewhere else. And it happens, and it just kind of eats at me a little bit when I know that they don't want to listen to me, and they're already talking to another company before they even get out of my truck. And then when I go home, when they get their CDL, pass their CDL test, and they go to their house, they kind of take everything out and then say, well, I'm not coming back. That happens.
Have you ever been in an accident or a ticket of any sort when you've had your CDL?
Well, this is it's a hard one. I did get into an accident back September 7th of 2004. I didn't even know I was involved in an accident until about 3 or 4 hours later. But what happened was I actually ran over a guy on the interstate. He was already hit and thrown out in the road. The guy was ran over by, I was passing a Conway truck, and when I was passing the Conway truck, he came out from underneath the trailer, and we both didn't even know he was there. And I thought he was a deer. Everybody was yelling on the interstate it was a deer on the highway, and I didn't even know it was a person until 4 hours later when I was coming back south and seeing the interstate was shut down. And then I took and called my father, it was Marion County or Indianapolis police officer, and reported it. And I had to go to our yard when I drove a day cab in Indianapolis and had to deal with it with the state police and everything. But I was dismissed of all charges because of I wasn't at fault, because there was no damage to my truck or trailer. It was a hit and run, and the guy was thrown out in the middle of the road at 1 o'clock in the morning. But ticket wise, no, I haven't. What did you guys? Well, I got into trucking because I was having another kid. Back in '99, found out that my ex-wife was pregnant with my second kid, and I wasn't making enough money working in a warehouse, so I had to take an advance by income, and the only way to do that was the company I worked for. They were offering CDL tests or CDL school, so I got my CDL and became a truck driver, and that was 20 years ago. So what was the other question?
It says, have you ever put together a checklist of what should be in a truck, i.e.
Yeah, we're working on that checklist that needs to be put in the truck. I've got a little bit of one, and Mark's helping me put one together now about things he should get for the truck, so we're going to get that posted for you guys. And if anybody wants it. Got any more questions, Mark?
Yeah, there's another one.
Okay.
They should stay with Millis. I spoke with drivers today at the Eaton terminal, and all three have been with the company for 13, 15, and 20 years.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that retain here because this is a family-owned company. That's one good thing about Millis is we get out here, and I can go to the terminal and everybody in the terminal knows who I am. It's not in a bad way. They know me by name. They know about my family. They know about everything that's going on. So everybody's been here for a while. I've been here for 7 years. I love it here. I should have came here a long time ago, but I didn't. I wanted to stay local and watch my kids grow up a little bit, and now I'm out here doing this. But I should have came out here earlier. But there's Mark again.
What's the process, the communication between you as a trainer and the training director while we're in school before we actually come out with you or come out with our trainers? Or are you told anything like we need to be worked on, or how does that work on your end?
Okay. I've had Greg call me before and tell me that I've got a student that having problems backing up. I need you to work with him on that, and which is fine. I've also had phone calls and been told from the instructors that this guy's got an attitude, so you got to deal with it. Watch what he says, watch what he does, and things like that. So we do get communications on a little bit of stuff that goes on that's going to probably make a problem in the truck. But for the most part, for me, I try to yank guys off this UP page. It makes it a whole lot easier on me. You guys already know who I am. I already discussed everything with you. You know how I work and how I talk, and it makes things a lot easier on my end. Can regional average as many miles as OTR? Now, regional guys average about 2,500 miles a week because they're home Friday night and don't have to go back out till Monday, and they're home every weekend. So them guys, they only get about 25. Sometimes you may hit 3,000. I am taking a written CDL test tomorrow. Congratulations there, David. It's, I should have restrictions on my learner's permit once I pass, right? No, there's no restrictions on your learner's permit when you pass. When you do the driving test, Millis will have you test out an automatic. You will have an AE license, but there are ways around that AE license. If you want to get a stick shift manual thing, you can always go in a year, 2 years afterwards, and get that taken off if you want. Just have to go to like a C1 or Roadmaster and just talk to them about getting a test done with a stick shift truck. But the thing is, anymore, this the way the world's going anymore. The stick shifts are not going to be the thing of the future. It's all going to be automatic, so it really doesn't matter. Look at Corvette said it in 2020 they're going to stop producing manual transmission vehicles. So it's the way of the future is all automatic, because it's easier on gas, it's easier on mechanics, everything else. Okay, the checklist they sent me said that their learning permit should have no, I don't know what that word is, restrictions on it. Yeah, it shouldn't have any restrictions on it. So there's nothing like that. Smoking in a truck, if you got a trainer that smokes, then if you smoke, they're going to put you with a trainer that smokes. Now, like with me, I don't smoke, but I've had students that do smoke, and I just let them stop every 2.5 hours and go smoke a cigarette or two, and then we get back in the truck again. I always like to get out and walk around, so that's not a big deal. But so I go regional based out of Ohio. What states would I be going? If you go regional based out of Ohio, you'd be Ohio, Michigan, just as the southern part of Michigan, probably up to Saginaw area and across. Then you're going to go to all over Illinois, part of Iowa, that's over in Davenport area, Benedorf. You'll be all over Wisconsin, just a little bit into Minnesota with the St. Paul, Minnesota, and St. Cloud area up in there. Then you'll be just in the northern part of Kentucky. So there's not going to be any mountains if you go regional out of Ohio, if you're concerned about that. And it's all flat land, but you got to deal with all the snow and stuff like that on 65 and on the turnpike. And a lot of that stuff with regional out of Ohio, them guys will run out and then come back empty. They asked us on the first day of class if we smoke or if we would go with a trainer that does. They want to make you happy. Yep, they do want to make you happy. That's unfortunately that's some stuff you got to take and deal with. They're wanting the guys not to smoke in the truck, but it's hard to do that. You know, these are guys' homes, and they're going to smoke in the truck if they want to. So, you got any more questions, Mark?
Get pulled into a weigh scale, and you go through it, and you get called in for a DOT inspection. What levels are they, and how? What's the process?
Okay, if you get pulled into a scale house, then they can do a level 1 inspection on you. That's when they do a complete check of your truck and trailer. They get underneath it, check your brakes, make sure there's nothing wrong. 99% of the time they don't even mess with that level 1 because it takes too long, and the only time they ever do that is if you got a bad piece of equipment. It's all raggedy piece of junk, so they can write you more tickets. Most of the time it's just a level 3 where they check your paperwork, make sure you got your permits, got your medical cards updated, and you don't have any warrants for your arrest, and your license are valid. And that's pretty much the level 1 and level 3 that they do. Do you ever have to go to New York City? New York City, no. We don't deliver downtown New York City. We do go to Long Island, but that is far and few between. And when they do go to Long Island, they pay an extra $100 to go out there if you go to Long Island. But we go to New Jersey all the time. I go to Freehold, New Jersey, and Union, New Jersey, right there by New York, New York. But we don't go into New York City. So I am going to go over the road. Granted, I will training and pass the CDL test and many loads to Albany, New York. All right, Albany, New York. We go there a lot just to cross through to go to. Let's see, go up to Saratoga Springs, go up to up into Boston and stuff like that. You can go through Albany a lot. West Coast runs, there's only one of those a month right now, unfortunately, but I have a funny feeling that's going to be changing in the next couple of years with the company by how they're changing things. So Zach just, yeah, tell him I know he just took and called me. So yeah, I can't answer the phone when I'm live there, Zach. No, you don't have to say lights colored. Oh, you're talking about like with an officer doing a inspection? No. They don't ask you any of that stuff. Only thing they'll do is if you get in for an inspection, they'll have you turn on your four ways, your high beams, your left and right. They don't do any. They don't ask you about the amber color and all that. That's just something for your CDL. Everything else is just hi. I don't know who you are. So, but they'll have you turn your lights on and check all that stuff to make sure your lights are working, and then we'll ask you for your brake. But you have to do what they say for the most part. But they won't ask you amber in color. So they tell you turn this on and turn that on. Yep, that's pretty much what they do. And they'll stand in front of you and then they'll point different directions like, I need you to turn that light on, I need you to turn that light on, I need the four ways on. How old are you? Old enough. 40.
Don't even ask.
Yep. Got somebody on my live feed. But yeah, that's what pretty much how it is. Any more questions, Mark?
So I don't know if it's like this with any other company, but our first day or second day in class, they had explained to us over the road or regional, which you had a choice of. And if you pick going over the road with a trainer, you had the option later on of going over the road or regional. But if you chose to go with a regional trainer, you had to stay regional. Explain the process on that and why that is.
All right, when you're regional, as a regional trainer, you don't do the over-the-road stuff. There's a whole different ball of wax of driving a truck, local, regional, and then it's a totally different beast doing OTR. When you do OTR work, it's a lot more of having to pick and choose your stops, make sure you do everything in a timely manner and everything else. Regional, they don't go up and down mountains a lot. They don't do a lot of different loads. They're just doing the same thing, supplying things to 2 or 3 different customers at a time, and that's about it. So not dealing with a bunch of different products at all times. I am from Turkey. Huh. Nice to meet you. We're from the United States, so we drive a semi across the interstate, hauling goods back and forth. Nice to meet you. Thank you for being on my page from Turkey.
Let me think. See if I got anything else.
Oh, yeah, we'll go ahead and answer Ghost Rider's question. CB radios. All right, here we go. This is what we're going to do here. The CB radio right here is the only thing you're going to get to fit in this hole is either a Cobra 29 LTD Classic or one of the Bearcats, Unity Bearcats, and then there's a Striker radio that you can put in that hole. If not, you're cutting this part of the plastic and you can't take and fix any of that. The company will get mad at you about it. So if you pull this out, this is how the CV goes in there. It's all wired in. Back here in the back, you just put the red and black cables together. You just plug everything in, and then CV cable. I don't want to pull it all the way out of there because then I have to recalibrate it. Uh-oh, I'm breaking it. But uh-oh, I'm gonna have to fix it now. But microphone is oh, I thought that was something else. Microphone is a Rode King mic. Got all your buttons right there. So
does Millis require you to use certain fuel centers?
The fuel centers that they want us to use, they tell us where we need to go fuel at. We get a fuel solution with every load that tells us that we need to go to a Love's and get 60 gallons, or if we need to go to Flying J and get fuel, or go to the terminal and get fuel. And with that, if we're 100% compliant, they give us 10 cents per gallon as a driver that has a truck, that the driver of the truck, not that whatchamacallit, a student, the driver will get 10-cent bonus for all gallons once a month.
How's the pizza doing?
How's the pizza doing? Oh, there's the pizza. Does it look good, guys? It's getting close there. No. Yeah.
Richard Valeri's Be Quiet Patty.
Hey, Zach, how's the baby doing? Congratulations on the newborn. Yeah, that's Zach. That's Zach. Yeah, that's Zach. Mm-hmm. It's if you get in an accident, it all depends on how bad it is. It's like anybody else. If you get in a high dollar accident and it's your fault, yeah, you're pretty much going to be gone. You might as well start cleaning out your truck. But if it's just you were at a stoplight and you got hit, or you hit a pole, or didn't do too much damage, they're going to just take your safety bonus away from you and go from there. Damn, they just giving it to you, aren't they there, Zach? So congratulations though on the little one. Any more questions there? Got 20 minutes on my live feed. There's my pizza again. Look at that. So it's almost done. Why, does everybody want to see what it looks like when it's done?
Yeah, but it's very glary.
Very glary, huh? There you go. That better? That better on you guys right there? There's a pizza going. Yeah, so we're working on that. What was I going to say? I don't know. This lifey thing is making me scratch my head. I'm confused. Oh, Mark here can vouch for me. I did find a program this afternoon while sitting here at the truck stop for the URL giveaway of the flashlight. So if anybody hasn't taken already signed up for the giveaway of the flashlight, this is what the flashlight is. It's a Rebel from Nebo. It's a little headlamp. You need to go to that video that is down below. It will say 200 subscriber giveaway. And watch the video, comment below, and all that. Just be nice, guys, and give it to me. Good job there, Zach. Is there room in the truck for 5 gallons of water cooler? That's what I got in the truck right there. It's one of them Coleman coolers. It's pretty big underneath the cabinet here. So yeah, there's room for a cooler. Um, I don't know how. Yeah, this one here plugs in and goes 30 degrees below what the ambient temperature is outside or in the truck or whatever. So it's pretty nice. So, anybody else have any questions? Here, I'll let you guys talk to Mark for a minute while I do this pizza.
So it's been good so far this week. Like I said, we've been running up until today. Can you bring your laptop to the trainer's truck, and how do you get Wi-Fi? Does it freeze your stuff?
Sometimes it does freeze my stuff. The cooler does, but it's only right there by the freezer thing. But it's not that bad. You can bring your laptop to the trainer truck, and you can get Wi-Fi at like McDonald's or at some of these truck stops. But for the most part, you also got to see what your trainer wants to do. Sometimes some of these trainers want to run you ragged and run you pretty hard. So yep, chef of Perry the chef.
Yeah, he's a very good cook, I must say. Oh, do that again.
You guys want to see the bottom of these pizzas? Look at that. It's not done yet. Gotta let it cook just a little bit longer. But computer wise, man, you guys are gonna be extremely tired pretty much when you're driving. If you got a computer, you won't have very much downtime. You'll be wanting to take and go get as much sleep as you possibly can. But from there, yeah, Jennifer, you meanie. What was the other question that?
Oh, he just said, yeah, and he can throw down.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Yeah. Everybody, that's the Zach. He was pretty much my last student besides Laquan that I had for a week, but he's a pretty good guy. He's the one I took to California with me. How's the top bunk, Mark? Here you go. That's a question for you.
Oh, the top bunk. Let me just show y'all. Well, I know a lot of you guys have already seen, but yeah, it's very tight living quarters, but you make do, and it keeps it nice and cold in here, so it's very comfortable sleeping. I actually sleep very well in it, so it's not too bad.
How many hours a day do we drive? Because I'm OTR, I run on 8-day recaps. I try to stay at about 8.5 hours a day. Doing that, I can make sure that I can run about 450 miles a day to 500 miles a day, depending on where I'm at. If I'm in the mountains, it's more like about 420, like over in Eden and North Carolina area. But for the most part, you know, we try to run about 8.5 hours a day. That makes it easy that if I got to stop, get fuel, do different things. If I want to stop and eat lunch, I can. Take a shower midday. It won't interrupt what I'm planning on doing on a 14-hour clock. But if I was regional, I'd be running straight 11 hours every day because I know I'm gonna go home every weekend. But if I'm not regional, so being OTR, it's 8.5 hours a day on average. You guys want to see what the pizza looks like now? It's almost done. It's a little gooey.
Should the trainee bring a sleeping bag or a blanket and sheets?
Yes, you want to bring a sleeping bag. And fitted sheets for a twin size bed. That's what you need to bring. Pillow and things like that. So any type of bedding things you need. If you got a CPAP machine, make sure you bring a CPAP machine. If you got anything else.
Bottom one.
All right, Zach. Follow Perry's advice. You'll run recaps forever. I just have my first reset on home. We didn't do a reset 10 weeks. No reset follow his advice. Thank you, Zach. And we got a boatload of miles too, didn't we, Zach? So, only thing he hated was going out to California.
David Johnson, how long do you think it will take to get adapted to running full 70-hour drive and racking the miles on a week-to-week basis without burnout, or is it just not good idea altogether?
I didn't hear you. I got both of you reading. Sorry about this, guys. I'm trying to read this thing. How long do you think it will take to get adapted to running full 70-hour drive? You're not going to run a full 70-hour drive. That's also your fueling, your pre-trip, and everything else. You're probably doing about, I say, probably 64, 65 hours if you're lucky on the drive line. Everything else is fueling and unloading and reloading and dropping hook, pre-trips, everything else. Weekly basis without burning up. We're doing that. If you run 8.5 hours, you're fine. Everything will work out great. And then you got 2 hours to play with throughout the week in case you need to go over to get the trucks, go to the truck stop or whatever. About a half hour over. Do you have an internet connection while on the road? Says the trainer driving. Yes, I do have an internet connection in my truck. I actually have one of these things, but this is mine. This is my personal jetpack. I have this because I'm a YouTuber. You'd be very, very surprised how much data I use. I've also got an iPad through AT&T that has internet service, and I've also got another cell phone I just purchased. So I have unlimited data on 2 phones, and I burn through close to 75 to 80 gigs a month doing YouTubing. It is very crazy, and how these internet service works on these phones. You get about 22, 23 gigs, and then they want to slow down the service, so I got to start playing around, bouncing videos to different devices before I can take and get them unloaded or go up.
So Jamie wants to know, why do you do OTR instead of regional?
The reason I do OTR is because I enjoy the adventure of it, the puzzle, the don't know what I want to do from day to day. I kind of enjoy doing that. It is very lively. I ran local for 13 and a half years, running the same roads every day, 2 days of twice a night, and never got to the point that I could actually fall asleep driving down the road and know exactly how to get to where I was getting to, and it was scary. So I had to get away from that, and I kind of enjoy the challenge of trying to find where I need to go to every week that's new, and then go from there, and finding parking. Anybody else have any more questions? But yeah, that's what I do. Here, I'll let you talk to Mark again. Pizza's almost done. I think I am going to pull these out.
Any questions? Anyone thinking about going to school at Millis, or just any questions about the class in general? What do you use as far as GPS? I've seen a lot of people use the Qualcomm, Google Maps, and other apps. He actually has 2 GPSs in the truck. There's one on the passenger side, which is a Rand McNally, and then on the driver's side he has the Garmin. What is it? The Garmin 7? Garmin Diesel 770. And they do
I also use Apple Maps.
And also Apple Maps. Is Millis better than Prime? I'll tell you what, Jonathan. Prime was one of the places that I looked at heavily. And after doing a lot of research, which I did probably 6 months to 8 months prior to coming to Millis, I had looked at Prime, applied with Prime, and what set Millis, I think, apart from Prime is I want it to be known more as a person, as a name, rather than a number. Not to knock Prime in any way, but Prime is huge. Millis is more family oriented, less people, less drivers. So that was one of the reasons. And after being at Millis and going through their CDL school, I would highly recommend it to anyone out there looking to get into this career. I left a 25-year career the end of May and wanted to do trucking, and I'll second that. Amen, Ryan. Great company. Millis is, I'm still very new here. Like I said, first week after 3 weeks of school, and a lot to learn. Great trainers here. If you have a problem with a trainer, there'll be no retaliation. You can call and get a hold of the director of security and ask to be replaced with a different trainer, and go from there. Everything will work out. They're very much into their drivers, and they do a lot for them. Millis is the way to go, hands down. Yes, it is.
Yep. Good job, Zach. Okay, I look heavily at Prime and thought Millis was a better option. Yes, it is, sir. Only thing I can do is just vouch for Millis. We're just starting to regen now. The thing is, like with Millis, you're going to be a company driver. We have no owner operators but one, and when he's gone, he's gone. Prime is, if you're wanting to be an owner operator, lease op. That's the way to go there, and all their stuff is reefer, flatbed, or tanker. And plus I think they make you guys get hazmat too on your license to go to Prime. But here you don't have to have hazmat. You don't have to have any type of endorsement on your license, and we don't have to pull any reefers. But here you guys go. Here's the pizza. We got it out of the, letting it cool down a little bit. I know it looks like it's a little mangled up mess, but there it is. It's all cooked up. That's how we roll here, me and Mark. There's his pizza and there's my pizza, and we're guys, got any more questions for us? Look good, I know it does.
Tom says this is my story too. Left my job to start a trucking career. Tom Ross.
Yep. No, all the trucks are automatic. Sorry, Wade. Yeah, everybody's going to go automatic eventually. The only people that's going to have manual stick shifts are going to be like your coal miners or bucket trucks and dump trucks and things like that, some flatbeds. But for the most part, everything's going to be going to automatic because of the cost of fuel is outrageous. So they need to figure out how to take and make the trucks run more efficient. What do? I used 5-star. The bill of lading, you got to take and calculate them all up. I think there should be a master one, or you got a John Deere load. If you do, there should only be like 5 gators in there. So that's what you'll do. Add them up, and then add up your weight, and then go from there. And then when you're doing your stops, make sure that when you stop at your first stop, you do 6 and then do 9 to leave. And then you got to have a calculation of every one of them. It's down the way, so you got a no bill of lading number. Oh, the bill of lading number, that would be the shipment number. It's on that load. If you only train it on automatic, yes, you get a restriction on your license of an AE license, which is automatic only. But like I said before in the video, you can get that taken off in 6 months, a year, 2 years. If you do ever need to have it taken off your license, you can always go to like Roadmaster, any CDL school in your area, and see how much it costs. I think it's like $50-$60 to take a test, just to do a road test again for a stick shift truck.
Prime's going all auto now, so
yeah, Prime is going to all auto too, is what Matt was saying. So is Trenton Yard training with manuals? They train in manual. All the yards have manual transmissions. They have you guys go around the yard itself in manuals. So when you're doing your Millis 500, it's manual trucks. Even doing some of your backing maneuvers, it's manual trucks. But when you go out on the road outside of the yard, it's all automatic. That's all it is. The only stick shifts are the ones that's in the yard, and then everything else is automatic. you say, Jennifer? Yeah, yeah. And there's a totally different beast. I'll let Mark explain this to you. That the trucks in the school have less horsepower and less torque. And when he got out here in the truck, he can tell you this thing was like a hot rod when he got his first load.
Yeah, totally different truck. Especially noticed it with backing. The automatic compared to the manual. Manual seemed to be a little bit easier. Kind of like a sweet spot on it. Is it $500 to start CDL training with Millis? Yes, it's a $100 deposit to guarantee you a spot at the next class, and then it's $400 the first day of CDL school. Do you ever run into problems with shippers and receivers making you wait ridiculous amounts of time before loading and unloading? Good question.
Yeah, we have problems with people like that, but you know, it doesn't really matter after 90 minutes, as long as you say you're arrived, or you arrived at shipper, or arrived at final. Zach can vouch for this. We sat at a place for 8 hours. The last day he was in my truck, and we both ended up getting $100 for it, $120 out of it because of detention pay. But they will pay you detention pay here at the company after 90 minutes. And just go sit out in the truck and let them call you. Don't go in there and harass them and make anything worse. We got DirecTV in the truck. We got beds in the truck. Most of us have food in the truck. Just do whatever you need to do to take and get comfortable, and just sit back and get paid for it. Pretty much, if shippers and receivers don't want to load us.
Is there a cap on detention pay?
Nope, no cap. I ended up getting like $600 one time for detention pay because I sat somewhere for 2.5 days because they didn't want to load the trailer because they thought snow was coming in. So yeah, there's no cap on it. It's just after 90 minutes they start paying you detention pay. Mark, how many students were in the class with you?
It was supposed to be 12, but we started with 11.
You said there was 12 and they only had 11.
Yep.
And Cartersville is the largest school. I don't know why they have so many guys go through the Cartersville school, but everywhere else has only got 6 or less. Yes, there's a big difference. The school trucks are set at like 300 horsepower. These things are set at almost 500, so I think they're like 475 is what they're set at. These things are like a rocket ship, but they have to have them set like that with torque so they can go up and down the mountains with being 80,000 pounds. Trenton 6, like you said. What's the question emoji for? Oh, Ryan. But we're getting tired. We're getting ready to eat dinner. Oh, thumbs up. Yeah, you got an Android, so I got an iPhone, and it popped up on it.
I mean, just that it's not cut out for everybody, because we did end 3 weeks of CDL school with only 10 students.
Yeah, hold on a
second. Back to the question about the students. Like I said, we started with 11. By the end of the first week, I think it was, or into the second week, we ended up dropping one. We lost one. Hope that gentleman's doing okay. I guess he couldn't really catch the hang of backing, and they had to part ways in a great way. I guess it was better on both ends. So, like I said, it's not really for everybody, so to speak. Things do happen, and unfortunately, he just couldn't get it. And like I said, I hope he's doing well and all is good with him. Y'all must be in Central Time Zone, so light out. Yeah, it is. It was light here last night till almost 10 o'clock. And it is, what time is it now? Yeah, 9 o'clock now. What was that last question? Here's Perry.
What's the last question?
We had 6 and also lost 1 second week due to backing. That was Ryan.
Yeah. It's pretty common that somebody drops out of school. So or has to leave because of school because of issues.
Is that all they do at 6 in Eden?
Yeah, that's all the schools only do 6, but Cartersville does about 12.
Oh, so all the other terminals do 6.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. So guys, we're at an hour mark. So just for a reminder, we're going to be doing another live video next Saturday at the same time. That's where we're going to do the live drawing for the flashlight. This flashlight here. So if you're wanting to get in the drawing for that and you haven't, if you're watching this on the recap or try now, go to the 200th subscriber giveaway and comment headlamp to get the headlamp to be on the thing. I think Mark wants to take a bite of his pizza real quick. So.
Cheers, y'all. Man,
Good stuff. Huh?
very good.
Like, what do you mean, the backing and all that? Yes, they will work with you on that. So, so be safe out there, and thanks, guys. Yeah, we are. We're getting ready to open this up a beer here. Yep, see, little root beer for the night. It's gonna be our little nightcap drink, and we're gonna enjoy this together. Later, bye.